business.
Right.
And,
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
All right,
Lenscrum?
Dana Nardi,
this
Lensbone.
here is go.
Okay. Great.
Those lights look pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like, because I'm not bored.
What, you're bored?
She's not
Oh, okay.
going to hide.
All right,
Shall I begin?
Absolutely. It's recording now, Zoom?
yes.
Oh, okay, this is December 8th, 2022. We're starting the official Lens Neighborhood Association Board meeting. I'm Mary Oxford, Land Use.
I'm Bradley Bondi, Transportation.
And I'm Ken McKinney, treasurer.
Okay. But, well, does the treasurer have, why do I have to be the official?
I can do it if you want.
Does the treasurer have a report of any changes?
No changes in the account. Everything's pretty static the last 2 months.
Okay. Transportation, you had talked about the 82nd. They have any new information on the,
No new updates yet.
you're not pushing for bicycle lanes and more trees?
So I am personally serving as on the community feedback group. I don't remember what the group name is. And that's just like giving feedback to PBOT. I'm not sure how effective it's gonna be, but I don't know, maybe my feedback would be worth something to them. But we had our first meeting last month, and the next meeting is not until January.
Did you hear anything exciting there?
So the general vibe is they have no real long-term plan. Like, they have a short-term plan, right, that they're implementing over the next couple of years. Just street lights, some crosswalks, stuff they've been planning for years but didn't have funding for. Long-term plans is going to be
to get together some evening, free, whatever your convenience is. And you can help me, you can show me how, and I'll take notes, to publish that on the Facebook page. And everybody seems to like I Love Lent's page the best. So I'll publish the link on those 2 pages.
I can figure that out.
Okay, great.
It might be of value to add it to the Lens Livability Association as well, if you have access there.
I
think
do
they're-
have
I think they're
access to
fairly,
it.
I think they're one of the other more active groups
Yes,
in the
yes.
area.
Did you want to look at that, Ken?
Sure, I've got a good idea, but I'll look at
The
the other.
cancer thing?
This is actual.
I'll pass it on to Joanne and Thomas. I don't know the status of the chairperson. I have not reached out to her. So I don't. And as for secretary and the other positions, does, we have the ability to appoint someone if there is someone you know that would step up and want to be involved with that?
Would you consider changing roles to?
No. No, I was talked into this because this is supposed to be the least involved position, because I am so not a technology person, not a politically correct person. And so this was gonna be a really easy seat. And so I'm just trying to fill in some of these empty spaces because I really am adamant about trying to get this association back on the tracks.
Well, thank you for all the work you've been doing. I really appreciate it.
No, not much, not as much as you. So as for that, if anybody
Secretary?
talks to someone or,
I could do it for a short period of time, but I mean, I do not have the energy for doing that kind of thing for a year and a half or whatever.
I heard someone over there in the audience say they may,
I said if somebody downloads it, I can do the text minutes, not verbatim transcript, but if you download the YouTube or whatever, I can go back and take salient points and then just do minutes from that.
Well, supposedly, a Zoom recording is good enough for minutes. We don't
Actually,
necessarily, it's not?
No.
Is
Because-
that our bylaws or is that
No, that's a,
DOJ?
that's a city.
That's a city?
Yeah,
City.
you can do it like,
so,
what you can do is, because Morgan did really good minutes, actually. What she would do is she would go and then do a link to the Zoom, but it does not substitute for minutes, because
Right.
if you just say,
YouTube,
Yeah, I mean, I
Are
can just
you-
download the video off the Zoom and upload it onto YouTube. That's it, right? That's easy.
I think so.
Okay.
It's easy if you know how.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a big deal. Then you had mentioned you knew somebody that did websites.
Yes, I haven't spoken to him about it, but he could probably help me just swap out the WordPress template, kind of organize it a bit. It shouldn't be too big of a project, I don't think.
Okay, because one of the things we need to do is, instead of all these different Facebook pages, like the Zoom meeting needs to go up on the web page, and these bylaws, proposal things, they need to go up on the official web page. And I'm not if something's really user-friendly, I can figure it out, but that web page is not, and so if you could figure out how to make it user-friendly, then I'd be more likely to do some of these tasks. Am I jumping around on here, Ken?
No, that's fine, that's fine. It's
How
all-
are we addressing some of these things?
Yeah, we're into Facebook, and then how we're gonna cover the information that the secretary has to put out, which is a big deal. So, would Thomas and Joanne want to form the secretary committee?
Secretary committee, okay.
We got an email that says Zoom will be updating your marketplace pre-approval setting for publicly listed apps. Here. Oh, I don't know if anybody. I thought this email, maybe not. No. Okay. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. Whose credit card was charged?
Okay, so Zoom renewal was coming up, and I got an email, and so I tried to get
Yeah.
the, well, there was a credit card number on there, and I didn't know whose it was. I didn't recognize the 4 last digits, so whoever was the last person paid, that credit card number was on there. So I saw that, and I spent like 5 hours with Zoom going back between their billing department, their sales department, their billing department, their sales department, back and forth, trying to get it so we could do a direct transfer from our bank account to pay the Zoom account.
Mm-hmm.
So after going through all that, finally I get an email that says, no, we can't do that. We can't do, what is it, ACH, automatic checking.
Automatic checking.
Yeah, they don't do that. We'd have to have a PayPal account or a credit card number. And I heard at one time that Lents Neighborhood Association had a PayPal account. And I don't know if that is true or not, or whether or not it's still even in existence. And
With the Gmail, we can probably.
I'm sure there
get
was.
access.
Because I've seen emails in there about
Do you still
PayPal.
have that
I'm sure
email
that they're
with all
using.
of those?
I believe we can do a password reset.
Yes, and we
Yeah.
need to address changing
So
all
there
the
is a-
passwords on all of those things.
I'm sure there was, but I don't know if it was, I'm pretty sure it's no longer active. I didn't see any communications about regarding it
so,
that
Was
were
there a
recent.
PayPal on that list of things that,
I don't know.
on that access
Not-
list
not-
that was sent to us, no, I didn't see that. It was sent to board members.
I never found any actual information. I just found evidence that it existed. So I know it exists, but what the actual information for it is, I couldn't tell you.
So what do we do? Just try to contact PayPal and
You
ask?
can, yeah, you can try logging into PayPal with the Gmail account and see what happens.
Okay. I'll try that. It was interesting with Zoom. They had people there who spoke English quite well, but they did not understand English. And finally, I was asking, well, what country are you located in? So I finally got somebody that was in this country, and they were able to finally send an email out answering the question. But it was, I even had people hang up if I asked what country they were in.
they're
So,
supposed to have to
that's
tell
so
you.
much for Zoom customer service.
Oh, yeah, that's,
They're supposed to have to tell you.
my guess is India.
Yeah.
Most of them are.
Or it sounded more like an
Could be
Indonesian.
Indonesia, okay.
Yeah,
That could be too. I know my company has India, Mexico, Philippines.
Are there very many English speakers in Indonesia?
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently
And that way, people don't get angry at me or anybody else on people what to do.
So you want,
So would you guys want me to go ahead and,
Oh, has anybody asked that to Jasmine to ask them to make one of you guys admin?
No, I don't believe anybody's reached
I
out.
think that might be something to do first, just
I'm not.
because you're not on Facebook, so
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook.
that'd have to be one or two, I would assume.
Uh,
So if either of you can get a hold of Jasmine and ask her to do that for you. Or if I remembered, I could do it even.
I think the only social media that I'm on is LinkedIn. And I haven't even been in that account ever since COVID.
Okay. It's on my list.
Okay.
So you're gonna talk with Jessica.
I'll message Jasmine.
You guys can talk tech, social media tech. Different set of terminology.
Comments.
What I'm familiar with. So the elections in May for odd number
Well,
year seats, all that has to do with getting announcements out on Facebook then.
Yeah. Which we'll have it. Yeah, we'll have that all sorted out by then, I'm sure.
Okay. I'll just say announcements out on Facebook whenever we get control. And then, did we want to take, oh, I didn't
working committee for quite a bit of time, about an hour and a half, 2 hours over 5 weeks. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary's.
Has there been consideration to combining land use and transportation into one chair position?
There was, and then they said that they wanted it 2 separate ones.
They wanted it to be
What
separate?
we did do was we have a minimum of 3. So we never fall, just like the ORS 65 says, all you need is a chairperson, a secretary, and a treasurer with a maximum of 7. And then we did make transportation and land use separate, so.
However, if a seat is empty, you assign the duties as needed amongst the current members of the board.
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sort of what.
that's why the secretary, we're getting you to do the YouTube. We're
Yeah.
getting Joanne to do transcribe into black and white.
I might be able, I should be able to help with some. And probably help better with that, but I can assist more with like a little bit work on Facebook probably, actually.
Yeah,
But
So-
more than one person working on it's great, so if something happens to one person, or they have a life-changing situation and stuff.
I get mowed down by a Chevy Suburban on 92nd Avenue.
God forbid.
Don't say that!
Don't say it out loud.
Damn it, it's so crazy out there.
Yes, if something happens to
4 people
somebody.
cut me, I had 4 people just walking here tonight, 4 people cut me off, threatened to hit me.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
every
These 95 neighborhood associations doing their own thing, because the city provides the insurance. The board liability insurance, they was only gonna have to. So we tried to remove somebody, and they said, well, where's the membership list?
right, yeah.
Because the organization has been in existence for something like 30 years, and how can you know that you got 2/3? And only intervened and they said, you're right, you can't, and we have now somebody saying, you can't revise the bylaws, because our bylaws say they have to be approved by 2/3 of membership. How do you know who the membership is?
See, so,
So that's why I'm gonna take the MailChimp list and I need to sit
You-
down with you.
I mean, I've told them, said, well, you might want to just use that list, that sign up list that I showed you guys earlier, because that's gonna be a smaller group of people to reach out with.
Mhm.
That is the only one that is actually could be considered officially a membership list, because like I said,
It's a bylaws advisory committee, so we've been getting together for the past 2 months, I
Mhm.
think, once
About that.
a week.
Monday evenings, we
And,
meet here.
and then what happens is we were just taking a couple of sections of the bylaws
Every
at a
week.
time, and we just finished going
Mhm.
through them. And so we're gonna do a big printout and then sit through and read them out loud together to see if it sounds all right. And then we'll post them for everybody to take a look at, make any comments on. And then change them if the feedback indicates there's things that need to be changed. And then come up with a final version that will be looked at for a while and then voted on by the board first, then by the general membership.
Because we want to be really transparent and give everybody a chance. So maybe somebody didn't see it here, or maybe somebody else can see it over there, or whatever. So we want to be really transparent, get it out to everybody on all the different pages and platforms. So they can all see it.
But it still hasn't been, it's been pretty much whittled down, but it's not really a finished product yet.
we're close. I think we may need to, conflict of interest, Article A, I think we may need to discuss that a bit more.
What are,
Conflict of interest, Article
yeah.
A.
Because I've been thinking about it, because it's basically, it says that if you have a conflict of interest, if you're a board
Oh,
member and you have a
yes.
conflict of interest, you're not allowed to participate at all. And I'm not sure if that may be necessary in some cases, but I don't know if that's necessary 100% of the time, especially because they're still a member, and a members may still have
Where is?
interest in the matter.
where
They
was
just
It's
that?
can't
a-
vote on the matter, though. I think.
They wouldn't be able, can't vote. It's doesn't mean it's bad for the organization as a whole. So
7.
But if
uploading to YouTube is one thing, but publishing private to different people.
Okay.
So, yeah, not everything you see out there is necessarily, it's in the public realm, it is available, but you have to know how to get there.
Okay.
So,
It's sort of like the public records requests
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
They, you have to be really specific because they don't want
Yeah.
people going on a fishing expedition.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, it's okay.
It's just gonna be publicly listed.
It's fine. Yeah. If you get off work and say, oh, now's a good time, just, or-
I get off at 5:30, so 6 or 6:30,
So-
it'll be fine.
so we'll tentatively say that.
Yeah.
6:30 tomorrow,
All right.
something like that, okay.
yeah, after having read these things about 5 or 6 times, I think I'm done. That's it.
Seeing bylaws floating in your dreams. Bylaws committee, conflict of interest.
The only one where I have any concerns is the political affiliation, non-discrimination.
That was from the, also from the bylaws.
Only
I
because
thought that was
from-
weird too.
Because that's like, well, okay, if you're a member of the Nazi party, I don't think, I'm gonna discriminate against you, that's just a given.
Yeah.
That would be a political affiliation that I'm discriminating against.
Oh, yeah, we're up here. Did you
So
read?
we are vaguely quasi-governmental? Are we allowed to just say,
Oh, well,
if you're a
I mean,
member
this
of a fascist party, you can't participate?
You can't do that
We can't? Is that, I don't
Why?
think it's legal.
because it's not legal, because it's
Is it?
interfering with someone's.
Being a member of a fascist party isn't a protected class.
If they come here as just a citizen, a member of the Lens neighborhood, they can come in here, but I don't think they can come in here and
As we
say.
should
It actually says that, it's a rules
You
of
can
engagement.
criticize me, I mean,
They
I
can't-
pay attention to you.
Well, I mean, we can,
But that's a policy.
That- Because there's so much of this stuff. Oh, I think, well, I,
Perfect example of this was the Safe Rest Village over at Reedway. Is because it was an emergency mandate, the Safe Rest Village team was trying to tell us that they did not have to go and notify immediate neighbors that there was going to be a little barrier, a tough shed shelter a block and a half away from their home. And knowing enough about land use, I'm there, nah, you still need to give them, even though it's an emergency mandate, even though they have no say, even though they're gonna have to eat it, you still need to have the same courtesy that you would if you were going to do an ADU or anything else in your neighborhood. And if I hadn't gone and done my own research, nobody would have gone and advocated. And I know Bradley's looking at me puzzled. Actually, the immediate neighbors do get a notice, as Mary knows, about ADUs going in next door to them. They do need to get a notice. They can't do anything about it, but they still need to know, hey, there's gonna be a groundbreaking in some of these backyards, expect some noise there. Yeah, they can complain, it's gonna do nothing, but they still need to know about it. And no, the neighborhood association doesn't need to post on Facebook, oh, by the way, your neighbor 2 blocks down is adding second floor to their garage. But if it's something like 92H, yeah, when it's something like, let's say, the XL Fitness, where they tore down a historic building, including a $30,000 mural that was paid for with our tax dollars, with no
The black
notice,
and white building.
with no notice
I know.
to the community.
What are they building there?
They're
Are
gonna
they
be
building
putting-
something at least?
They're gonna be putting market rate housing,
Oh, that, it's going there. I thought it was going on the
Both.
others.
both.
Oh, it's like wrapping around those
Uh-huh,
buildings?
Wrapping around.
Okay, okay.
So, that became an issue, because what happened was, and at that time we did have a land use, this was with the prior board, but the person dropped the ball on letting people know that there was feedback. And tell us, why didn't EPCO go and say, hey, you do realize that, you know, LNA is no longer, it's just the 25 business district P housing just so we can watch. A lot of people forget that even though people who's disabled, it's been mainly about,
This is because no mail and the mail, nobody addresses them.
and we're doing it on iPad. So that's where I would say that there's necessarily by an election.
Well, plus you keep continuity of the board.
Right.
Yeah,
Trying to-
yeah. Well, if somebody wants this spot, they can step right in and just come and tell me you want it, wherever you are. Come and tell me you want it, I'll give it to you.
If there are people that you talk to, evangelize the LNA to as many people as you can, say, hey, and if you want to step up, help
Yeah.
us
I
try to.
tell people that all the
stabilize this.
time, but then there's the whole, I'd rather have a root canal with no.
Yeah, I know.
No one came to get involved with them. And somebody said, well, I'd rather that than having my foot smashed. So anyway, back to my thing is, do we want to take an official stance on this, or does someone need to contact the chair and say, what is your intention?
Would it be all right if I asked Jose to do that?
Absolutely,
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
yeah. Contact the chair and ask her what is her intention, since she has been, what do you call it, incommunicado? Okay,
I'll get
What
that
else?
done tomorrow.
did we address everything on here
There's a second page.
haphazardly?
The bylaws, we did a little bit of. And there's the tentative timeline for the bylaws, which was Thursday, December 8th, courtesy presentation of proposed bylaws to LNA board, which
That's here,
we sort of doing.
Yeah.
And then, pardon me, Monday, December 19th, 2022, reading of proposed LNA revised bylaws on Zoom, to be linked on Facebook and posted on YouTube channel. Email that week through mail. Go into the activity center over there and still participate via Zoom.
yeah, I think all the meetings should